Hey everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from 14th Star Brewing Company. This is their Maple Breakfast Stout. Not a big beer, 6.5% ABV. Untapped has it at 20 IBUs. This was sent to me by Greg, and he writes, he bought this at a specialty food store in Vermont. Date is on the outside edge of the bottom of the can. He said, I had it before and liked it, so I wanted to try it again. So I don't know if I've had anything from this brewery before. So I do appreciate Greg picking this up and sending it to me for a try at this beer. Guys, I can't get this laptop is on the shits. I can't even get it to come up. So I'm not going to have a food pairing for this beer. Goes well with your darker chocolate beers. Food pairings are going to be chocolate. You know the deal. If you've had a dark beer, you've heard me say this 1,000 times or more. What food pairings go with it. So we're going to leave the food pairings out of this one because this laptop is going around and around in a circle. So I guess the squirrel in there that's spinning that little cage is tired. Commercial description I have from Untapped: brewed with maple syrup and cold brewed coffee. So this would probably be a beer you'd probably want to have pretty quick so the coffee doesn't fade. Said this wonderfully complex stout starts with a rich, smooth coffee flavor, then alludes to a dark chocolate character, and finish with a hint of sweetness. And like I said, not a big beer, 6.5%, 20 IBUs, fairly easy drinking. That's why they're calling it a breakfast stout. So you could have this for breakfast. Not this guy. I don't drink beer for breakfast. But it's not too big where it's going to knock your face down in the dirt. You're not drinking 8, 9, 10, 12, 15% beer and then trying to go function the rest of the day. So some of you young bucks might be able to drink this for breakfast. Homie, don't play that. Homie, don't play that game. And like I said, it's got it on here. It says 07, 05, 17. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Almost 4 months old for 6.5%. And with coffee, I'm afraid the coffee may have faded a little bit. We shall see. But like I said, this thing is spinning around, so we're not going to talk anymore. Let me pop the top on this and get it into the glass to see what we have. Final beer of the evening for me. It don't seem to be boring too much of a hit, so let's aggressively step it up a notch, or 12. And even the massive pour that I did right there, we got about a half a finger of head, not even that, maybe a quarter finger of head. Over into the light, not getting a whole lot, maybe just a little bit of red ruby mahogany tinges on the thin part of the glass here. To the nose we go. I am still getting a little bit of coffee. Pretty impressive for a beer that's almost 4 months old. Rich roasted malt. Got a nice sweetness to it. Maybe a hint of some black molasses or bittersweet chocolate. Smells pretty good. Let's dive in. Cheers everybody. Cheers Greg. Very nice coffee. And I'm sure it's probably not as potent and as strong as it would have been if I'd have done this in July or August. Because like I said, this thing was put in the can on July the 6th. So if I'd have done this sometime in July or August, I'm sure the coffee would have been a little more stronger, a little more prevalent than it is here in November. So still have a nice coffee presence. I'm very pleasantly surprised. Well, this thing has decided that it may want to work, but we're a little late for the food pairing. We've already jumped into the beer. Very nice taste. A very pleasant taste. Now, I'm not saying it's outstanding or anything. Like I said, it probably would have had a better taste and probably got a better grade if it had been a little bit fresher, but beggars can't be choosers. And Greg just picked this up and sent it to me. So that would be the only plus I would think about having a coffee beer that's 4 months old, that the coffee may have faded just a little bit over time. Other than that, the beer is going to keep other than the coffee fading. So, but it's not a huge beer. It's only a 6.5%. It's not like you're drinking an 8, 10, 12, or even bigger beer, where those beers are going to keep for a lot longer. Don't think I'd want to sell her a 6.5% stout, especially a coffee stout. If it didn't have coffee in it, it would probably be good for a year or two, maybe even longer. But being a coffee stout, you don't want to sell those beers. You want to drink them pretty quick, just like an IPA or a double IPA, to get that big aroma, because coffee fades just like hops do, guys. So, still fairly impressive with the coffee, but like I said, I don't think it's probably as tasty as it would have been at the end of July or August. So let me sip on this for a little bit and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got a little left here. A nice transitional stout. If you're into the lower ABV stouts, or if you're one of those that are drinking beer for breakfast, probably a good one to choose instead of drinking a big imperial stout, especially if you do that regularly. I don't drink beer for breakfast, guys. If you're drinking beer for breakfast, hopefully you're not doing that every day. If you are, you're probably going to be on dialysis by the time you're my age. You won't be drinking beer at all anymore by then, because it'll kill you. I don't buy these low ABV beer stouts because I don't drink them for breakfast, whether they're listed as breakfast stouts. If I was choosing a breakfast stout, I would probably go with something like a Founders. And I don't drink it for breakfast. That would be something that I would have for like final beer of the evening for me. I just don't find these low ABV stouts to be appealing to me. They're very thin, they're very watery. That's the first thing she said, that kind of thin and watery out. Usually these 5 or 6.5% stouts are kind of thin and watery. So probably not something that I would buy. I don't buy a lot of these low ABV stouts. If I want a stout, I want something that has a little more meaty body to it, more like a 8, 9, 10%, something that I would drink for the final beer of the evening instead of drinking it for breakfast. That's just me, though. A lot of you young bucks might want to do this, but like I said, you do that pretty regularly for a long period of time, and by the time you're my age, you'll be on dialysis. Your liver's gone. So drink responsibly. This is probably not something that I would buy, guys. Even though I do like a nice coffee stout, I just don't like these low ABV versions of it because they seem to be very thin and watery. And I don't drink beer for breakfast. So, I mean, if you're into drinking beer for breakfast, you probably ought to drink something that's a 5 or a 6%er instead of a 9, 10, 11, 12%er. And if you're continuing to drink beer the rest of the day, hopefully you're not doing that every day, because it'll kill you. Trust me, it'll kill you. If you drink beer all day, every day, it'll kill you. So it's not something you want to get in the habit of doing. With that being said, guys, it's a decent beer. It is a decent beer. Not probably something that I would buy, but I'm glad I got to try it and review it for you guys. Greg, thanks a bunch, my brother. And now that I've been sipping on it, I'm not even getting any coffee notes now. It's kind of dissipated. Okay beer as far as I'm concerned. Nothing, like I said, I would write home about or probably would even buy myself. but I got to try it. So I do appreciate Greg for doing that. Not a joke. I got to film this a little bit tastier with the coffee notes. If it was just a tad fresher, but like I said earlier, beggars can't be choosers, and this is probably the freshest one that Greg could get his hands on, and it is what it is. Not super impressive at this stage, guys. It's a B beer to me. 85 is where I'm going to put this. And like I said, Beer Advocate has this at 3.79, which is their B plus range. And over to Untapped. Untapped has it at 3.77, which is in their B plus range. I'm going a little bit, just a tad below that scale, because I'm just not a big fan of these low ABV stouts. When I want a stout, I want something with a little creamier, a little thicker mouthfeel, a little heavier ABV, because it's usually the final beer of the evening for me. I'm not starting off my day by drinking this for breakfast and then continue drinking the rest of the day, whatever. It's just me, though. That's just my opinion, because I'm an old guy and I don't drink beer all day long. I don't. Usually I don't have a beer till about 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening after I get home. That's usually my first beer of the day. So, with that being said, if you've had this one from 14 Star Brewing, this is their Maple Breakfast Stout, coming in at 6.5%, 20 IBU. Let me know what you think. More to me, guys, it's more like a transitional beer. If you've never had a stout or a coffee stout, this would be a good one to try for your first one, instead of jumping into something that's 9, 10, 11, 15%. That's going to blow your palate out of your mouth. So, good transitional beer as far as I'm concerned, and fairly well made. Other than like I said, it being kind of thin and watery, and most of them are that are in the low ABV scale like this one is. So, but I got to try it, and that's what I think of it. So if you've had it, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.